Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Don Mafia Report, Monday through Friday at 10:15 a.m. EST. I understand I'm a couple of minutes late. I was thinking about doing a full-scale preview of the Buffalo Bills and Houston Texans, but I decided to actually save that for tomorrow because while I have all the advanced analytics ready, I also want to unpack some of the all-22, specifically from this Houston Texans defense, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not all that concerned about who the quarterback is for the Houston Texans on Thursday. I think that our defense, with all the struggles that do exist with this unit, should be able to fare well against the offensive attack, CJ Stroud or Davis Mills. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. But the defense over in Houston is what's keeping me up at night. I'm sitting here trying to put together a game plan, and I just want to make sure that I am as well educated on what the Houston Texans do, what they do well, what they do that the Buffalo Bills can exploit. So bear with me. But today, I wanted to go through some of the injury reports, not only on the Buffalo Bills side of things, but also on the Houston Texans side of things. Because while I know that a lot of us are feeling a bit uneasy based off of the injury report that was released yesterday, basically a carbon copy from this previous Wednesday leading up into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. And when you look at the Houston Texans side of things, they are in a very similar position as into us. So very excited to unpack that, some other tidbits of what we should expect going into the game on Thursday evening. As always, I ask each and every single one of you to hit that thumbs up sign for me. It's the easiest way to show love over here on the channel. I want to propel this out to the YouTube algorithm so we can recruit even more family members in the live chat. I would also like for all of you to roll call in the chat. All right. What corner of the globe are you tapping in from this afternoon? Always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. Don't be shy. I'm talking to the lurkers in the building as well. Even if you don't participate, all chat, I got to know where you're tuning in from. Giant shout out to our good friends over at Sleeper, folks. You're familiar with these guys at this point. It's the #1 player prop platform on the market today. It is a very simple process. All you need to do is simply put together a player prop parlay of 2 to 5 players. If you accurately predict their stat projections, you could be a big winner, sometimes up to 1,000x, depending on specific multipliers, what have you. The best thing is that you can go on ahead and actually sign up and you get a free $20. That's basically a free parlay, maybe free multiple parlays, depending on how ballsy you are. Go on ahead, sign up for Sleeper. Link is in description. And using my code Don Mafia, you will ultimately end up getting a 100% deposit match all the way up to $100, man. Shout out to Sleeper for being a season-long partner of this channel. I appreciate you. And I hope you guys appreciate them as well. Because without them, damn, would I be able to stream every single day? I don't know. And Daddy's got to bring home the bacon. Thank God for Sleeper. I appreciate that. All right, man. Where's everyone tapping in from? Do not be shy. Do not be shy. We have Yorkshire, New York is in the building. Marin, what's going on? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. El Paso, Texas. Dan, pull up. Yo, what up, dude? How you doing? I'm on the moon. You're on the moon, man. Dude, how's the weather around there this time of the year? Baltimore is in the building. Let's go, Buffalo. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is in the house. Brian, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Asheville, North Carolina, go Bills. London, UK, go Bills from Stuart, Florida, flying into Houston tomorrow morning. Johnny, I hope you have a wonderful time, my friend. And look, oh, man, I'm really trying to stay positive for this game. There's a couple of things that I've been seeing that make me feel a bit uneasy, and we'll get into that, but have fun regardless. Texas is in the building. Lackawanna, New York. Good morning, Dan from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Linda Jackson, I hope you're doing well. Chattanooga is in the building. Good morning, Dan, here from Miami. Go Bills. We got Arkansas in the building. Robert, hope all is well with you. Thumbs up statement. Go Bills from Iowa. All 53 players seem injured. That list is long. It is indeed a CVS receipt. That is for sure. Dundee, New York. Damn, I love that. Lurk, Louisiana. Dude, Lurk, Louisiana's in the building. Covina, California. Let's go. We got Taylorsville, Kentucky. Nashville, Tennessee. We got Dearbornistan, Michigan. Holy shit. Mission, Texas is in the building. Yinzer Nation. Go Steelers. Paul, what's going on, man? We got a Steelers fan in here. I appreciate that. And then we have Day in Ohio, go Bills, originally from San Antonio, Texas. Damn, look at that, man. I'm assuming you must have moved for a job, some family. What's the deal there? San Antonio is an awesome city. Currently listening while morning after and the Monday night game into the toilet bowl. Good God. Good morning, chat. I am in Arkansas as well. Wow, dude, look at that. Yo, listen, I got to tell you. And so I'm not sure if my friend Angela is just spreading the word of my channel in the state of Arkansas. I have no idea what it is, right? Like, she was the first Arkansas viewer. I can tell you that. We've been seeing a lot of Bills Mafia from Arkansas tapping in, and I can appreciate that, guys. All right. So one thing I kind of wanted to start off with, and like how I'm feeling about this game, is something my buddy Kevin pointed out. He is actually a representative over at the Bills Roundtable. The Bills Roundtable is a show where myself, him, Z-Bot, and Bills Bunker meet Mondays and Thursdays for sort of like a Bills panel. Highly recommend that you go subscribe there as well. That link is in my description. Oh, man. But my boy Kevin just pointed this out very early in the morning. Not how I want to start my morning, all right, with some anxiety around my favorite football team. But if, for example, Buffalo wins this one, it's going to be something this organization has not been able to do very often in their tenure. According to Kevin, Houston is a house of horrors for the Buffalo Bills, all right? They have lost their last 5 games and haven't won since 2006. Have not won a game in Houston since 2006. And the Bills have only scored, hear me out, 15.6 points per game and never over 20 points during this entire 5-game stretch. Josh Allen is 0-3 in that stadium. My God, man. Talk about a great narrative surrounding one of the most roller coaster seasons that I can remember. But again, somebody that called in yesterday had a great point where they said that Bills fans are a victim of the moment. And as my buddy also pointed out a bit earlier this week, technically how you look at it, so the Buffalo Bills through 11 games are exactly where they always are, right? Like last year we were 8-2. This year we were 7-3 at this point. So how much of a difference is there really? Maybe the quality of losses, perhaps. I don't know. But something the Buffalo Bills need to get over, right? Like, I really hope that there's no bad juju. I hope that these players aren't looking at this game this way. But, I mean, lo and behold, and we're going to get into this once we end up getting into my game preview tomorrow. But, I mean, with this defense is going to be creating quite a bit of struggles right there. Kevin is wrong saying Al's 0-3. Houston, he's 1-3. Interesting. I'm going to have to double check on that one. Double check at that one. Keon is playing. Josh scores 8 touchdowns. Wow, look at that. Anyway, let's go ahead and double check and take a look at where the Buffalo Bills are from an injury report standpoint. Now, one thing I would like to point out is that this is the exact same injury report that we saw this previous Wednesday. So I think a lot of guys are going into this game banged up, but all in all are still going to play. So starting off with this, we have Christian Benford. This is a new injury, groin. He was dealing with this leading up into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I thought that he was okay. Terrell Bernard, ankle. It's pretty clear that this guy has been struggling in run defense. One specific rep, if you guys were tuning in on my live play-by-play reaction this previous Sunday, I made the statement of, it looks like Bernard is running with ankle weights on. He's clearly going through this injury, right? So I do think both of these guys will play, right? Hopefully Bernard is okay. Bosa with the wrists. I mean, no matter how you want to look at it, he's playing with one hand right now. Like 2 games ago, he had that absolute club, right? Then he had a soft cast. Then he re-aggravated his wrist literally during the first play of scrimmage against Tampa Bay last week. So he's just going to be playing with one hand likely for the rest of the season. It's just, I mean, it's just how it is. Hopefully he can heal up a little bit on this mini bye that we have right after Thursday. But of course we will see. You have Connor McGovern. This is a new injury. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Palmer, he's limited. So I think that he was on a pitch count this previous Sunday. I'm hoping that he'll be good because he is one of the zone beaters that I think that we need. We have Jordan Phillips. This is new. He was limited. Jordan Poyer, vet rest. I mean, what can you have? And then Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir with a personal. He'll be fine. And Shaq Thompson was a full participant. I'm feeling good that finally we might be seeing Shaq Thompson out there. He is at least where Bernard is within his injury. He's more of a well-rounded type linebacker that is better against the run due to Bernard's injury and also pretty solid in coverage. So having Shaq Thompson back is going to be great. And Dorian Williams, groin injury, he was limited. And look, I have been very critical of Dorian Williams since he has been on this team, but how Buffalo has been utilizing him as like your spy/mirror player for the past couple of weeks is something I really hope that Buffalo can continue to do. Because with how injured our defensive line is, and it really frustrates me, because what could our defensive line have been this year if we didn't hit this unprecedented injury bug in just one unit on the roster? At one point, y'all, like we were top 3 in pressure percentage. It has all but fallen off of a cliff for the past 2 weeks. That's what happens when Ed Oliver goes down. That's what happens when Michael Hoyt goes down. That's what happens when Joey Bosa is playing with one hand. So Buffalo is really going to have to put together some simulated pressures, be super creative into creating pressure, not even against Houston, but for the remainder of the season. And until, of course, we can get some reinforcements. I'm hoping Ed can come back by the playoffs. So we ended up seeing his video or whatever of like some like really weird scar for a bicep injury. I wouldn't have thought that that would have been a bicep injury type scar, but it is what it is. As far as players that don't think are going to play, I don't think Curtis Samuel is going to be good to go. I know, surprise, surprise. That's the story of his tenure over in Buffalo thus far. But you know what that means? It means that Buffalo probably has no choice but to activate Gabe once again, and also some Keon Coleman action. So for those of you that were saying, oh, like Keon, he might be benched for the rest of the season, I don't know. And so I feel like Buffalo really has no other choice. He absolutely may need to be activated, because with Mecole Hardman out, with Curtis Samuel out, we could be seeing Gabe Davis and Keon Coleman out on the field. I'm interested to see if we could finally start utilizing Keon in a place on the offense in which that I feel more comfortable. So that's sort of where I'm at. We will see what the injury report looks like on today, on Tuesday, and see what the game status is all about. Now, it's not just the Buffalo Bills that are dealing with injuries right now, folks. Something I always like pointing out. And first off, Houston Texans need to do a lot better with your injury report. What the hell is this? Who in the world is able to read this? People with 20/20 vision, okay? Superman would have a hard time reading this. It is awful design. Maybe it's on purpose. Like maybe it's their competitive advantage where somebody so attempts to decipher what is written on this poorly designed graphic to where we don't have any other questions. But looking at how this all plays out, I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this so I can at least get it eligible or legible, excuse me. That's not working either. Okay, so where we're at right now here. Linebacker, starting linebacker for this team. I know a lot of us are very familiar with him. He is currently limited with a knee and an illness. Something to keep track of here. Let me do my best to see if this is even somewhat legible. I mean, even if I go full screen, let me see. I suppose that is better, but it's not. We have Jalen Petrie as well. A lot of us have been talking about CJ Stroud in the concussion protocol. One of their biggest ball hawks, safety perspective. He is also limited with a concussion. He could play, right? Like maybe he clears the protocol. But say that Petrie were to be out, that is a big blow to their defense as far as their secondary. Because again, this Houston Texans secondary is by and large the best unit in the league by a significant margin. And again, we're going to dive into that a bit further. You have Nico Collins with an ankle. He is now limited. I am going to be paying close attention to that. I think that this is probably just like them being careful. He'll probably end up playing. What will his production look like? Will Anderson Jr., okay, he is limited with an ankle injury. He is their former first-round pick, 3rd overall, I want to say. Absolute dog. Then Jamal Hill as well. He did not participate. You also end up having quite a few other guys that are limited, including tight end Dalton Schultz and Danico Autry, who is another edge rusher. So if you are feeling any type of way about how this Buffalo Bills team has been catching the injury bug, I would argue that this Houston Texans injury bug is right in line with what we are dealing with. Who is going to be available for Houston? Even the guys that are listed as limited that do end up playing on Thursday, what is their production going to look like? Because, spoiler alert, based off of the research I've conducted already, with the names that they have on this defensive line, you would assume that they would be top 3, top 5 in pressure rate, top 3, top 5 in blitzing. Not the case. Like right in the middle of the league as far as pressure success rate, as far as blitz rate, right in the middle of the league. So with this team really isn't generating as much pressures as the names suggest that they should. But again, I will go ahead and I will hold out with that. Now, as far as my opinion on who will play and who will not play, you could take that with a grain of salt, because you want to know why? I'm not a doctor. I have no medical background. I decided to scream at a computer screen for a living. But what I like to do when it comes into injury reports is go over to our good friend Thigh Doctor. Why? Because Thigh Doctor is, of course, in the field, has some fire takes when it comes into some injury news and injury analysis. And I'm actually really curious to hear what he believes is going on with this report. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy up right here, and let's see what Thigh Doctor has to think about this one. Good week for Samuel to sit, give Keon a path, barring any more. Okay, so it's pretty clear that Samuel more than likely is not going to be out there. He had one catch last week, which is a weird catch too. He dropped it at first, saved it at the last second, and for a reception that had to be reviewed by the upstairs officials. However, Samuel being out, Mecole Hardman being out, you're going to be seeing Gabe Davis elevated, and Keon Coleman is probably going to get his shot. I would be shocked if Elijah Moore is selected over Keon Coleman. We'll see what's happening here. Hardman's out 2 to 3 weeks. Kincaid is out another week at least. We knew this when he ended up hurting his hamstring just 2 weeks ago. Not too worried about McGovern. That's solid, thankfully. And I'm going to go on ahead and knock on wood here, folks. While this team has been experiencing the injury bug, particularly on the defensive side of the football, one place, and again, I'm going to knock on wood here, not that I'm superstitious, I'm just a little stitious. Somehow, some way, we have been relatively healthy with this offensive line for the past year and a half. How, I don't know, but it just works out. Now, tough for this, 47-7, 97-10, and 5 on short rest, but they should be okay. So all these players that we see that are somewhat injured, you have Christian Benford, he's feeling it. You have Joey Bosa, he's feeling it with his wrist. I think he's going to be dealing with that for the rest of the season. It's just how it is. Yeah, so with that, I feel like we'll be okay. And then last but not least, we have Shaq Thompson is back, fingers crossed. So now we hear from the doc himself. That's sort of an outlook of this Buffalo Bills injury report. I will keep you updated on what Houston looks like as well. But as far as anybody, if I was willing to bet any player on the Houston Texans injury report that's not going to play, I'm not thinking that CJ Stroud is going to, right? Like, dude didn't even pass the concussion protocol yesterday. If, for example, he did not participate again, I just don't see it happening. So Davis Mills is likely going to be the QB, but again, CJ Stroud or Davis Mills doesn't change my opinion on how I think this defense can get the most out of the Houston Texans offense. the big test for Buffalo is going to be, can we generate points against the Houston Texans defense that is absurdly talented? And that's what we need. It's tough. I will tell you this much, right, guys? Like, I have been diving into a lot of advanced analytics, and it is a squad, like, right now, right? Like, we're talking about one of the best secondaries in the league, EPA purposes. DVOA is interesting because with DVOA, it points out and it puts into consideration quality of opponent. They're not that high when it comes into quality of opponent, but the teams that they have played thus far, they've been dominant. They're the best play action defense in the NFL. That's what Buffalo did against Tampa Bay last week. Like, we dialed up play action, and that's why you saw like that, like piss missile offense being thrown all around the damn field. So that's what we're looking at for now. But guys, right now what I want to do is I kind of want to get into a Q&A segment for the remainder of the episode. As always, I ask that you appropriately label them. So say, for example, you have a question for me, please begin it with a Q. And if you have a statement, you begin it with an S. That way I can easily decipher between some internal conversations happening within the chat and some questions and or statements that you would like me to react to. Go on ahead, start going off, man. Make it happen. Let me know what is on your mind. We have Angela saying, actually, Dan, it was my son, Jared B., that told me about you. He has been spreading the word too. Also, FYI, Dan, Jared looks remarkably like Josh Allen. I love his show. Look at that. Angela, look at that. And Jared, look at that, man. Love to see it. Shout out Jared. Shout out Angela. Let's get into the building. We have Dan. Josh is undefeated on Thursday Night Football. Is he? Why did I think that the Houston game last year was Thursday Night Football? And so am I going crazy? And so was the Buffalo Bills Houston Texans game Thursday Night Football last year, or am I just going absolutely nuts? That's where it is. We have Ketchup is in the building. Ketchup Samurai. Great name, by the way. Do you think the NFL should eliminate Thursday games during the season? Yes, I do. I don't think that they will, because so the league is a money printing type machine, right? So they never will walk away from it, but I don't think that it really gives a lot of benefit to either teams. I suppose that it does something for gamesmanship, because it does put certain teams at disadvantages to hopefully create some sort of parity within the league. So I understand where they're coming from a financial standpoint, and also from ensuring that the league is as competitive as humanly possible. But it doesn't make sense. It's not good for the health of personnel, for the health of players. It's just how it works. It's just how it works, man. Senke Chandler is coming in with a question. He's saying, do you think we start our younger players to amp up for playoffs? Poyer/Trey shouldn't touch the field. Terran should be benched for Lewis as well. So I don't think that Poyer should be benched. I think that Poyer has been a large reason why Cole Bishop has been so good, right? He's probably one of the most willing run tacklers we have on this team. And funny enough, when you go into this season, all of our focus was on the weakness at the safety position. Turns out safety actually quickly became one of our largest strengths as of recent games. So I would not destroy the current safety tandem, because whatever is happening is working, and there is a significant improvement. And Poyer's playing a hell of a lot better than Rapp right now. As far as Cam Lewis, he's been playing well. With Terran has been struggling a tad. I'm not sure if he's dealing with an injury as well. But say, for example, that Buffalo does notice that some of these younger players are getting the edge and they beat them out in practice. I'm sure they will get their opportunities, because Buffalo right now is in a position where they want to still obviously go for that division title and at the same time have the most favorable seeding. But then again, I pose the question to you. what has winning the division really gotten the Buffalo Bills in the past couple of years? Perhaps a wild card berth, right? Might be able to get it going. I mean, maybe a wild card berth gets it going for us. I mean, I don't know. It's sort of a useless thought, but it's a thought nonetheless. What's your prediction for our record for the rest of the season? Go Bills, big dubs coming Thursday. Bills for the Bowl 2026. Man, you know what? We talked about this last night on the Bills Roundtable. And again, I highly recommend that you guys go subscribe to that channel. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. That link is in my description. How I base this is based off of where Buffalo is throughout 11 games of the season, right? So in 2024, we were 8-2, like going into this, and we ultimately ended up finishing 13-4, right? It was 13-4 in which that we finished. It should have been 14-3, but we rested all of our starters on week 18 versus the New England Patriots, right? So once you account for us being at 7-3 and the fact that Sean McDermott in the past, I think 5 years, has only ever had one loss in the month of December. Let's go ahead and pull up the Bills schedule real fast. In fact, this is actually a really good way of looking at it, right? So the Buffalo Bills have only ever had one loss in December from Sean McDermott for the past 5 years. So if history repeats itself, I'm liking all 4 of these games as wins. And yes, that's even including the Philadelphia Eagles. Houston and Steelers on this road trip could be interesting. And then the Jets at the end of the season. I thought at first we would be resting our starters, but depending on how the division is looking, I'm not so sure on this. So say that I'm a gambling man. Give me 13-4, 13-4, or 12-5 is where I'm at right now. What do you think the Texans will focus on? The run, pass, or a mix of both? They backup quarterback has some legs. So I think based off of the film that they probably have collected from this Tampa Bay matchup, they saw an undrafted free agent absolutely torch us. So I think they're probably going to be running the football quite a bit, at least at the beginning. As far as our secondary is concerned, guys, like we had a really good secondary performance like last week. Very, very good. Like Maxwell Harrison, a lot of us forgot that he was even on the field, but he had 50% of the snaps. That's a good thing. Like that's a really good thing. So it sounds like Max is hitting his stride. Same thing with Benford. He did pretty well. Maybe you could account for the conditions in Buffalo. I heard that it was windy as all hell, and maybe that also played a factor. But for the most part, our secondary has been playing exceptionally well, especially with the uprising of Cole Bishop. His play has all but skyrocketed. Max has been looking good. Benford looked somewhat normal last week. With Cam Lewis has been looking pretty good out of the slot. So secondary is great. It's just run defense and lack of getting pressure, which has been an issue. That's sort of where I'm at. Question: will the Patriots slip up moving forward with the easiest schedule known to man? Go Bills. So I see the Patriots losing 2 more games. I see them losing to us for the second matchup, and I see them losing to Baltimore for the following week. So in my eyes, I think the Patriots lose to us and the Ravens. I haven't seen anything from this team, at least recently, that suggests that they're going to drop a game to the Jamar Chaseless Cincinnati Bengals or to the New York Giants or the Dolphins or the Jets. So I suppose anything could happen. Like parity does exist within the league this year, but right now I only see 2 losable matches on their side. So if Buffalo wants to win the division, they need to beat New England, but then at the exact same time, they need to drop to the Baltimore Ravens as well. And the Buffalo Bills need to win out, like not lose another game. It's been done before. Can they do it? We'll see. Seen something that we win 13 games and then 10 games every other year for the last 5 years. Check it out. It's been 11-6. We haven't been a 10-win team, I think, since 2019. It's like 13-3, 13-4. And then it's 11-6. So the down years for the Buffalo Bills has been an 11-6 team. So when you look at it, like, I mean, I don't know. Because, like, look at this. How I look at this schedule, as far as perceived good teams, right? Like, let's look at our schedule and say, hey, like, how did Buffalo play against good teams in the NFL? And by good teams, so I mean teams that are currently in the playoffs already or in the playoff hunt, right? We beat the Ravens, which I think a lot of us are pretty confident that they are going to end up stealing the AFC North, barring like a Lamar injury or barring a complete and utter collapse. We ended up beating the Chiefs, who I think are still a good team, but they're going through some pretty similar struggles to Buffalo. And we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Like all three of those teams, I would say, are pretty damn solid. But then when it comes into losses, we had an awful hiccup against Miami, 30-13. Like, that's wild. We lost to the Atlanta Falcons, who are now currently 3-8. Like, team could not get it together. And unfortunately, we just saw their best game. Have no idea what happened there. We lost to the Patriots. And so the credit to the Pats, right? Like, solid team so far. They just ended up taking advantages of things. So when I look at our schedule, so I think we could go undefeated, but I don't know. I just feel like one more loss is on the horizon. And I don't know what game to pick. As far as matchups are concerned, like with the Houston Texans game is not ideal, you know? We got PJ Pops is in the building. Will the Patriots slip up moving forward with the easiest schedule known to man? Interesting statement. Seeing something that we win 13 games and then 10 games every single season. I would love that. I would like to address all the JA-17 haters lately. He has done more for the franchise and quality of the NFL than all of the other QBs except Mahomes and JA-17. 28 touchdowns. The rest of the team, 27. Hush. So I can tell you this. I am happy that Josh Allen had the game that he did last week, right? I really, really am. But I don't want anybody to feel that he is immune from criticism, because games like the Atlanta Falcons, games like the New England Patriots, games like the Miami Dolphins were largely on Josh for not playing at the best of his ability, right? So, yes, it's okay. And I sing his praises. If say that you guys have been watching my show for a long time, I am the vice president of the Josh Allen fan club at the very least. I have defended this guy ad nauseum when he plays well. However, I am not going to allow him to be immune from criticism. He has had his share of bad games, and I will announce when he has his share of bad games, right? Played really good against Tampa Bay. I need him to be that guy each and every single week. And that's either playing superhero nuclear 40.6 touchdown Josh Allen, or depending on the defense that you go up against, I need him to be efficient. I need him to swallow his pride, stick to the game plan, take things underneath, don't turn the football over, don't miss wide open guys, don't go big play hunting when the defensive matchups aren't in your favor. That's sort of where I'm at, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, we are Bills fans. We are not player fans. We are Bills fans, baby. So we want the best performances from everybody. And based off of how this roster is structured right now, we need Josh Allen to play perfect. So when people are like, oh my God, look at his roster, man, like how much can you put on the guy? A whole lot, because he's our only option. He's getting paid $55 million per year to make anything work. Like, you don't pay a dude $55 million per year unless he's the dude that elevates this team the way that he should. Is it unfair? Absolutely. But you need to get it done. Life is unfair. You know what I mean? Dat dude is coming in. Stop talking about Josh. You don't know what it goes down in the huddle. You don't know what goes down on the field and their intentions. But it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that you can make some educated guesses. Look, brother, I can promise you, and this might rub you the wrong way, but Josh doesn't know who you are, okay? And so I know that you have him as your profile picture, but it's okay to criticize somebody when they're not playing at their best. He played amazing last week. There's no sense in getting pressed about a football opinion that you do not agree with. Life is too short to get that angry over a football opinion. So, if you don't like when somebody criticizes anybody on this football team, I suggest you go watch somebody else. Best piece of advice that I could give you. I'm dying on the hill. It's happening. Stick around. Are you worried about the Eagles running the ball against us given our current run defense? Surprisingly enough, their run defense is all but kind of faltered a little bit. Or their rushing attack has fallen quite a bit. Would trading / picking up whatever running back plays the Bills in fantasy be a good idea? Probably. Like really. So depending on where you're at. And Josh always plays better at the end of the season. He certainly does. So when he goes up against quality quarterback competition, something just clicks in his head, right? For some reason, I think that he underestimates certain opponents. And that's just an educated guess. Go Bills. And Josh Allen just needs to take what the defense gives him. And when it happens, it's a 92% that we will win games. For sure, right? Like, look, taking what the defense gives you is going to win about 85% of games. It's how it is. But sometimes when that doesn't work, you need nuclear Josh Allen like we saw via Tampa Bay. Now that he's proven that we can run both of these offenses, that's how you do it, right? Like, that's how you do it. And so I nominate your mom. Where would this franchise be without him? No one ever wanted to play here before him. PZ Western is coming on in. I'm not sure if that was directed to me or if that was directed to somebody else. We have Keyboard Warriors. Don't invite haters with jerseys. Give always fans only. And so I'm not concerned. About haters. Like, it's funny, chat. It's really, really funny because, like, say that these people truly knew who I was, they would know that the more hate that I get, the more I'm going to put content out. The more I am going to want to annoy them. So if people get upset with a take of mine, like, I drop 3 videos on the exact same topic because I have conviction with my takes. I believe them. I typically hear people say, oh, he's just doing this for clicks. No, I actually believe my takes. And I will die on these hills. I am not going to bend the knee to a bunch of burner accounts on X. It's just how it is. I think a lot of people think that you could go out and you could say, hey, we're going to bully this guy into quitting. Well, PSA, public service announcement, I will never quit. And the more hate that I get, the more I'm posting because you just keep taking the bait. That's exactly what's going to happen. So if, for example, you truly dislike what I put out, my best suggestion is just blocking me because I am never stopping. I don't surround myself with negative people in real life. Why would I surround myself with negative people on the internet? That's how I look at it. So you could disagree with my takes. You can call me a clown. You can call me an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Right behind your burner account is what it is. But I just want to let you know, like, that stuff motivates me. It motivates me to annoy you even further. It motivates me to continue to do what I do. So that's what I'm talking about. Dan, question 3 wing spots. Bar Bill, number 1, 2. No. 1 is Bar Bill. 2 is 9/11. 3 is Gabriel's Gate. And it's close. It is close, man. Question. And do you think that Brady is not utilizing any receivers other than Shakir correctly? For the most part, he's been looking pretty good. Especially against Tampa Bay. What I liked from Brady based off of all 22, you started seeing some interesting wrinkles, right? Like you saw Curtis Samuel being the one running the clear outs rather than Keon Coleman. And that really baited defenses. When you have Keon Coleman running a clear out, no one's buying that he's going to get the football, especially with no separation or a back shoulder throw. Having a fast player like Curtis Samuel running those clear outs, or say that it's Elijah Moore moving forward, that's going to cause defenses to bite a bit more. And that's going to open up guys underneath and on those intermediate routes. So I liked what I saw from Brady this past Sunday. I don't know if this is going to be his 100% of the time offense moving forward, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll see, G Mills. And people who can't be objective to somehow prove they are loyal to Josh Allen, I bet Josh hates these clowns because he takes no accountability. Look, I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I think that he's the best quarterback on the planet. But at the end of the day, I expect perfection. So, look, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from criticism. That's me. I miss Bar Bill. Dude, every time I'm in Buffalo, I go there immediately. So you are doing your job right. If you got haters, keep up the work, Dan. Go Bills. Yeah, dude, you know what? And so I look at that as well. Sort of how I look at it is this. You go to Nick Wright's mentions, or you go to Dan Orlovsky's mentions, Stephen A. Smith's mentions, Diana Rossini's mentions, all of it's hate. Every single mention is hate. So when I look at that, that motivates me and tells me that I'm doing something right. So keep hating, baby. Keep hating. It fuels me. It literally fuels me. And do you think we will feed Cook more on Thursday? It's tough, man. It's a solid run defense. And people that hate are just the ones that are no lives and have nothing to do. I always get those in my channel and I just ignore them because they like rage baiting for no reason. It is like the mental illness Olympics in my mentions most of the time. Question, two-part. A, and do you think Bills can establish their running game versus the Texans? D. B, and do you foresee the Bills offense utilizing their running backs for the passing game even more than they did versus the Bucs? So I'll tell you what, Steven, you are one stream too early. I just ended up doing a pretty in-depth analysis on how the Bills defense can go up against the Houston Texans offense. I'm prepping my research for tomorrow, and I will make sure both of those questions get addressed. But as far as running the football, we're looking at a very well-rounded defense in Houston. Their strength is secondary. Their strength is defending the pass. And while they're technically worse at stopping the run, they're still pretty damn good at it. So I am very excited to like it out. Like Tupac said, my enemies give me reason to be the last motherfucker breathing. Yes. For every breath I take without their permission raises my ego. That's how it goes. Status on Stroud. Ian, it's looking like he's not going to be playing, but that's just kind of what it is. What if we get back to forced Keon fades, bubble screens, and jet sweeps Thursday? One thing that's going to really upset you guys, but I will be... oh, my God. So the Houston Texans are one of the worst defenses in the NFL for stopping screens. Yeah. So one of my keys to the game is dial up the screen. All right. And y'all are going to be living at that. But look, when you have a team that is so awful at stopping the screen because they run a lot of zone, right? They run a lot of zone. And they have quite a few missed tackles so far this year, too. So screen game is probably about to be dialed up. It is dialed up. Haters indicate that you're calling out the hard truths that need addressing, so keep that shit up. Live the composer. I appreciate you. I appreciate my people. I'm fine with screens, but not 8 per game. Well, strap in, my friend. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of screens on Sunday. Oh, no. Oh, man. I mean, look, as long as they work, As long as they work. Here's my beef with the screen game play calling, all right? I don't mind a screen on second down. On a 2nd and 7 or a 2nd and 6. I don't mind a screen game there. Where I hate screens are 3rd and long. Despise screens on 3rd and long. With every fiber in my body, I despise them. So that's just kind of how it is. Love this stream so much. I told William Matar in person when I seen him this week. Keep up the good work, Dan. Love this stream so much. I told William Matar in person when I seen him this week. Dude, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my boys, William Matar, dude. Shout out to my boy, William Matar, man, for popping on in, guys. You already know. If you're hurting a car, you better call William Matar. Cook in the passing game again. Let's go. Well, look, you know what, guys? Since I love all of you, and since the vast majority of you that are watching right now are my regulars, right? Like, y'all never miss a stream, and I cannot believe it. I love your loyalty. I love rocking with you every single morning. Let's figure it out together, huh? Let's figure it out together. Who should be Josh Allen's biggest targets against the Houston Texans pass defense? They're very good. They're very, very good. So let's go on ahead and let's take a look at where this Houston Texans defense ranks in guarding wide receiver 1s, 2s, 3s, running backs, and tight ends. And we will get that answer together. I will end up unpacking all of this tomorrow during my in-depth preview, but just a little tease because I love each and every single one of you. All right. So the Houston Texans defense against wide receiver 1s ranks 7th in the NFL. So a pretty good defense against wide receiver number 1s. Wide receiver number 2s. The Houston Texans are 10th in the NFL for guarding wide receiver number 2. So top 10, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. That's Derek Stingley Jr. and Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Go Dogs. Wide receiver 3, where are they? A wide receiver 3, at least pertaining to DVOA metrics, is your slot receiver. So where does this look like? The Houston Texans are 8th in the NFL for guarding slot receivers. So the receiver game, you're going to need to figure some things out, all right? Because they're top 10 against wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and wide receiver 3. Tight ends, it sucks Dalton Kincaid is not here. It is awful that Dalton Kincaid is not here. Because when you look at who is the best at guarding tight ends, it's the Houston Texans, minus 21.6%. They are very good at guarding tight ends. So they are top 10 against wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, tight ends. And then last but not least, what about running backs in the pass game? 3rd in the NFL. 3rd in the NFL for guarding running backs. So this is a top 10 team. This is a top 10 team in guarding every single position. Don't worry, though. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I can find some answers for us tomorrow. Damn it. Let's see. I bet maybe Gabe Davis. Brooklyn, New York, go Bills. I love that. I don't think they will focus on Gabe Davis, so maybe he will get open. What we need are zone beaters. Like, zone beaters are crazy. So why I say screens, and like I said, y'all hate screens, but surprisingly enough, this Buffalo Bills team, here, look, just in case. Show me the best offenses in the NFL EPA-wise when running screen plays. Y'all, dude, y'all are going to hate this. Shavers and Gabe are the answer. Shavers is a hidden gem and a monster nobody is talking about. Dude, look, if Shavers has one more quality game, then I'm about to take my Stephon Diggs jersey and throw a Shavers nameplate over it. All right? If Shavers goes out there and goes nuclear again, a Shavers nameplate is being stitched to my jersey shamelessly. In other words, they have a good defense, LMAO. Yeah, dude, look, like when you... So in comparison, right? Like when we were previewing the New England Patriots defense, who is like top 3 in most metrics, they had a significant weakness in guarding tight ends and running backs, right? a lot of the top defenses we have played this year have struggled in at least two position groups. This is the first defense that I have ever seen that's been top 10 against every single position. Oh, y'all are going to hate this. Top 10 screenplay offenses. The LA Rams are number one at plus 0.451. Success rate 65.4%. Total screens 26. Total EPA plus 11.73. Number two in the NFL is the Buffalo Bills. Oh my God. Rage. Oh, dude, I'm rage baiting. I'm rage baiting, baby. Damn, man. And so for people watching on Twitter, and so if you want to know like what my next rage bait tweet's about to be, it's about to be this. And that the Buffalo Bills are the second best screen team in the NFL. Shavers is a zone beater, and unlike Keon, he don't give up on the play. For sure, man. Like, we need to have Shavers running go routes. We need to have Elijah Moore running clear outs. You have Shakir is pretty good against zone, and you have Gabe Davis is pretty good against zone too. He just finds space. He finds space. Will Shavers get to play this week, or will Coleman get the start over him? I hope Shavers has done enough to earn his reps. He should. How is their defense when the QB holds on to the ball longer than average? Interesting you say that, my friend. Look at that. Guys, look, you know what? I'm just doing this because I know that most of you are my regulars in here. In fact, you know what? Say, for example, you're a newbie right now. Don't be shy, newbies. Let me know if this is the first stream you have ever tuned into on this channel. We would like to give you a proper welcome. And a shout out to my regulars. And when I say my regulars, I'm talking like y'all are in the chat every single damn day. And I appreciate that. Coming in late, wanted to say, what's up in Greer, South Carolina? Score prediction on Thursday. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Like, with Buffalo averages like 15 points against this team in Houston, 17 points for the Bills. Hopefully, we can hold this offense to like 13 is where I'm at. What was I doing? Brain fart. Obviously, I need some caffeine. That's what I was doing. PFF. And by the way, like, this offensive line over in Houston, liability, my friends. But let's go ahead and check this out because we can pull up some PFF stats that I think that you guys will appreciate. Actually, let's go back here. And so I pay money for this, so let's go on ahead and let's actually and so let's actually get the most out of my investment. Okay, Texans PFF. I want to pull up Davis Mills, his advanced analytics. Davis Mills, baby. Look at that. It's the long neck king, baby. All right, let's go. Davis Mills. Okay. Got this bad boy right here. Let's go pressure. All right. So when kept clean, he's completing 69.3% of his passes. When under pressure, he is completing 34.4% of his passes. When blitzed, 60.4% of his passes. So don't know if blitzing is going to be the right move for me. Just at a first glance, I would say that the offensive coordinator dials up some insurance policies if he is able to pick out the blitz almost immediately. But like, with Buffalo really doesn't run a lot of blitzes. Now that we're having a lot of injuries on the defensive line, I wonder if we're going to dial it up so that we can generate at least some pressure. But the key for Davis Mills is to create and generate organic pressure. I don't know if we have the horses to do that. I hope I'm wrong, but we will see. I think Shavers is a good wide receiver, unlike my cousin who thinks he is ass. I mean, dude, I've been going on ahead and I've been locking in. We got Robert A. Wilson's coming in. James Cook, 200 yards, 120-yard rushing, and 80 yards passing. Ooh. Ty Johnson, 60 or more receiving. I love that. Dude, listen, if we can get the running backs involved, sign me up. I vote for Shavers' nameplate cover up for sure. I think that's the plan. All right, guys, that's going to have to do it for another edition of the Don Mafia Report. I'm going to be live on 4th and Forever, our daily NFL news show over on the Roundtable Sports Network. Do me a favor, guys. Let me know if you have never heard of 4th and Forever. Please put a 1 in the chat if you have never done it before, okay? Because if that's the case, I got to put you on. Say, for example, that you are more than just a Bills fan. You are a football fan, man. Like, you just love the sport. You love the game. You are entrenched in everything that has to do with the NFL. I got to show you something that we're doing over at this company that me and my friends have been building for the past couple of years. Roundtable Sports. And so, as you know, we have a divisional roundtable for each and every single division. We have recruited the number one YouTuber for each and every single team to get together for a debate show, ripping each other's necks, all right? Every single Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday about their favorite.
All right, fellas.
Man, look at that. We have guys going off to the NFC North. They're doing their thing, man. We appreciate what they do for us over at Roundtable Sports. However, one thing I want to point in your direction is welcome to have a show called Fourth and Forever. All right. It is a daily NFL news show. We unpack everything that happens across the league. We unpack all of the storylines. It's more what have you. So do me a favor. Go subscribe to Roundtable Sports. It's this one right here. You should be able to see it. And tap in 1 p.m. EST. We're going to be unpacking everything and anything that has to do with it. But we will see. Dan, the Bills need to move Coleman around like you just said. And that is the one of McDermott's challenges is moving players around once McDermott makes up his mind about a player to me. Robert, I'm glad you like me again, man. Robert was mad at me for the past couple of days, but he's back on, baby. He's back on. All right, dude. He's back on the Dan Mitchell wagon, man. I like it. It's okay, man. It's okay. Water under the bridge, Rob. Yes, I agree with you. Show me some Keon Coleman out of the big slot, right? Like, you are looking at a defense that runs predominantly zone. They run a lot of zone. And if separation is your concern about Keon Coleman, you don't need to worry about separation when you're going up against a zone defense because there is going to be space. You don't need a wide receiver to create separation against a zone defense. You need him to find space. Hook me up. Since Mills is not an MVP candidate, Josh, we'll keep this game close or we'll be dominated like Miami. I feel like that's the case. Definitely a regular wish I could make it every day, but my best friend / boss is a Chiefs fan, so only so much Bills I can shove down his throat and vice versa. I like that, man. Shout out to your boss, though. Have a good day. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Lock in. I will see you over at Fourth and Forever, and I love each and every single one of you. I really, really do. We'll see you soon.